Hey folks, I'm Walter, and thank you so much for following along on our Carnival Mardi Gras adventures. But now I know y'all want to know, well, what did you think of Carnival compared to everybody else? Well, let's just start with the embarkation. If you don't know, Carnival built a brand new terminal just for the Mardi Gras in Port Canaveral. Plenty of parking. It was actually easy to get into. The terminal was fantastic. Once we got into the terminal, we showed up at 10:30 in the morning because that was our arrival time. They started calling boarding about 11 a.m. 17 minutes later, we were on the ship, so embarkation was a breeze. Now the ship itself, I mean, this thing is brand spanking new. It's the biggest ship we've ever been on. I was a little concerned, you know, it's a big ship and I knew they were sailing at 100%. We heard 5,500 and 5,900 throughout the week. So somewhere between that is what we were sailing. That ship is 5,300 plus at double occupancy. So we were just over double occupancy. Really impressed that the ship never felt crowded. We never ran into a logjam where we couldn't get past people. There was always a clear lane of traffic. Yeah, some venues did fill up, obviously. I mean, you can't have everything hold everybody. But we were really, really impressed with how well Carnival spread out the dining, the activities, even in the upper decks, the pools and the Serenity area and all of that. They did a really nice job spreading everything out. So even at night, when everybody comes together inside the ship, there was still plenty to do on multiple decks and multiple areas, so nobody really jammed up. So the design of the ship was absolutely beautiful. As with any other cruise, the crew was outstanding. They made us feel welcome, they made us feel like family, and went out of their way to do whatever they could to make it a better cruise. The only thing we did notice, we felt like food and beverage was a bit understaffed. Especially up in the buffet. There weren't as many people cleaning, so we were seeing like stuff stacking up in the buffet that we don't normally see on other ships. But in terms of service, in terms of crew, bartenders, sanitation cleaning people, our room steward, everything outstanding from top to bottom. Now the food was a little bit hit or miss. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I've got a bunch of other episodes on the individual venues. But what I will touch upon, the main dining room was okay. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. I mean, it's hard to make a really good meal for 2,000, 3,000 people a night, so we cut them some slack. The Pig and Anchor was a weird one because it was outstanding on the first night, and we went back with the rest of the family another night, and it was just awful. I mean, just totally terrible. The bonsai sushi was the chibang was okay. Stick to the Asian side, that's better than the Mexican side. Two other big standouts for me was Shack Big Chicken. It's better than Chick-fil-A. Yes, I've had Chick-fil-A. Shack's chicken was better. Breakfast, meh, I would skip the breakfast, but chicken sandwiches, wow. And the pizza was really, really good. Fresh made pizza, you can get whatever toppings you want on there. Another big standout, Rudy's Sea Grill. Go to Rudy's Sea Grill if you are going on the Carnival Mardi Gras. You will not regret it. Unless you're allergic to seafood, then don't go there. Now the one thing that did surprise us in the buffet, and I talked about this in another episode, was there was no emphasis on washing your hands and sanitizing when you walked into the buffet. The buffet was all self-serve, and on most ships there's some sort of what we call sanitary police, either squirting the sanitizer in your hand or asking you to wash your hands on the way in. There was none of that on this particular ship, and I've since heard that that's just Carnival's way. They don't really do that on these ships. So when you got hundreds of people kind of grabbing the tongue, they may or may not be sanitizing their hands. If that's a concern, you may or may not want to go to the buffet. So overall, food was good. You're not going to go hungry on the Carnival Mardi Gras. There's going to be some things that you'd like and don't like, just like any other ship. But wow, Rudy's Sea Grill, one of the best meals we have ever had at sea. And one of my favorite things, cocktails and coffee. And wow, Mardi Gras, you brought the best coffee game that I have ever had on a cruise ship. You have Cuban coffee in the Havana bar. That is amazing. And while I'm on coffee, Java Blue is not where you should be going to get your lattes and cappuccinos. Go on over to the Bar Della Rosa instead, better coffee. Now in terms of the cocktails, I was really impressed because usually on a cruise ship, you got that one bar that everybody wants to go to because they got the good bartenders and the good drinks. But on Carnival, they had about 4. And we had the Alchemy Bar, Fortune Teller, we had the Breath Magnolia, and we had the Havana Bar. Those were like the 4 big standouts, and they were all good. I mean, I really thought the Fortune Teller was going to be some sort of a gimmick, but you can go watch that episode where the bartender made me the new moon. It was a really good bar. Those bartenders were on point. They were craftsmen and women. And what was nice about having 4 really good bars, people spread out. Yeah, some of them might be like really jammed up for maybe 10 or 15 minutes and you can't get near it, but then they would spread out. So I actually never had a problem getting to the fortune teller. We didn't have a problem going into Brass Magnolia. So again, Carnival, you did a nice job of putting the bars on different decks, different areas so people spread out. So if you are a fan of cocktails, there's going to be a lot to like on the Carnival Mardi Gras. Now, one surprise for me was the Serenity area, the adults retreat up in the front of the ship. Wow, beautiful loungers, really nice pool, a great bar, 21 and over, so no kids, and they even had a fantastic salad bar at lunchtime. I mean, so many people on the ship didn't know about this. Like, wait, they had a salad bar up there? And it's included, no extra charge. So if you're an adult and you want to get away from the kids, go on up to the Serenity retreat area. And of course, Carnival is known as the fun ship, and this particular ship had the Bolt, the first roller coaster at sea. There was mini golf back there, there were water slides, so the activity area was awesome. Now myself, I did not see the value in riding on the Bolt. It's $15 per person, and it is a 30-second experience. You get 2 laps. I just didn't see the value in this. But if you got kids that really want to do water slide and mini golf and the Bolt and all this other stuff, there's definitely a lot to do on the Carnival Mardi Gras. The cabin was a really nice surprise for us. When we saw the cabin online and we saw the deck plan, we're like, wow, it's a narrow cabin. This is going to be really, really small. But when we went in, it was actually really well appointed. It was still a little bit narrow. The bathroom, probably the smallest bathroom we've had, but it was very efficient. And our balcony was an extended balcony, so that was really nice. It was big enough to put a lounge chair out there. We had 3 adjoining cabins, so we opened up the balconies. But the cabin itself was really well laid out, really nice lighting, plenty of storage. The bed was super comfortable, and if you want to know more about it, I do have another episode specifically on cabin 12371. Now, the entertainment was really interesting on the Carnival Mardi Gras because they have Grand Central. Deck 6, 7, and 8, which during the day is just a glass wall. You can look outside and see the sea going by, and then at night, they bring up the video screen. They've got trapeze artists, they've got stages that come out. It was almost like Grand Central was the A show and the theater was the B show. So the theater was actually one of the smallest of any cruise line we've ever been on. I think it was only about 900 people. Now out in the Grand Central, that's where they were putting on the big shows. It's really amazing what they can do with Grand Central. There's nothing like it out there. And then of course, the Comedy Club and the Piano Bar, those are small venues. So if you want to get into those, you got to get down there early. But overall, the entertainment game, certainly there's something for everybody on the Carnival Mardi Gras. So the Carnival Mardi Gras, what did we think overall? Well, this was our 15th cruise, 7 different cruise lines, so we've got a lot to compare to. And I would kind of put this up against, say, the Freedom class over on Royal Caribbean, maybe the Breakaway class over on Norwegian, somewhere in there. I think the Norwegian specialty restaurants get the edge. I think they're better over there. Royal may have activities that you more want to do, such as the Flow Rider and things like that, but certainly, if you are a fan of those 2 classes of ships, you probably will enjoy going over on the Carnival Mardi Gras. So what about you all? Have you had a chance to sail the Carnival Mardi Gras yet? And are you a fan of Royal and or Norwegian? And where do you think the ship stacks up against those 2?